and get as much, you know, not a whole lot off, but get a lot of it off. And then because we sanded the surface, it's going to really grab those little pieces, and I'm just going to brush it on. You can start out light and go darker and do it however way you want. But I just like to dull down some of that bright silver. So I'm going to do it on everything. I like to hit the edges pretty good. And the metal in between, I give it a little. Make sure you hit the edges real good. See, like I said, the bristles come off, but it's not that big a deal. So I'm going to hit this metal here, and I'm just going to distress the whole thing. Kind of hit this with a circular motion. Can't really mess this up. So, like I said, if you want to go darker, you can. It's all personal preference at this point. So it's just roughing it on there. But like I said, I try and hit the edges a little bit darker than anywhere else. Make sure you get the dowels, and this one I need to go back and get a little bit darker. Like I said, you can't really go wrong here. So one of my favorite techniques is to take something that's not metal and make it look metal, because it's actually really easy to do. So, and you're just going to keep doing this. Also make sure that you get the sides of your milk cap. Let me hold it this way. Get the sides of your milk cap. Get some in there. Get a little bit more paint. Let me put this over here. Keep going around. Now I will tell you, and I've had the problem I had with the first one, when I took it outside to spray paint it, I let it sit in the sun, and the sun will melt the plastic, or not the plastic, but the hot glue. It'll get it just soft enough so that a blade will come off. So just keep that in mind, and if you want to, you can go back and put a couple drops of super glue or Elmer's glue or something that's going to last a little bit longer. You can use the Fix-All from Dollar Tree or E6000, anything you want, just to give it a little bit of added security. But the fact that this thing isn't manhandled very much, it's, you know, goes up on a wall. If you can keep it from falling apart until you're done, then there's really no need for that. Okay, so let me just finish this up, and as you see, it doesn't take very long to distress this down a little, and you just want to kind of tone down the bright silver, because it can get a bit much. And when you get it to this point, you can be done. You don't have to do the next step, which is my favorite step, to be honest with you, and I think it's what really gives it that old metal look. which is the cinnamon, or you can use allspice or nutmeg. Just depends on what you have in your cabinet. Seems like the last couple times I've been to my Dollar Tree and my Walmart grocery center, they've been sold out of cinnamon. So I am just going to be using, I think I'm going to be using nutmeg today. I find that the allspice can be a little grainy and get a little too dark, not so much rust color. So we're going to give it a go with some nutmeg today and see how that works. But best case scenario is to use the cinnamon, but like I said, I haven't had any luck in replenishing my supply, and I go through it a lot. So let me, one more blade. Oh, I've been neglecting my metal ring here. Make sure I've got every space. And I think, let me get this one. Just to make sure that I've got my ring, my metal ring real good. On all the, even behind the blades. So you can see the metal behind there, even when it's hanging up, so you want to make sure you get that real good in there. Okay, almost done. I could do this all day. I could just distress and keep distressing and play with this all day long. But we're not going to. We're going to move on. Okay, so that being done, now what we're going to do is, another little container that I have my Elmer's glue. And another one of those bristly brushes. You can use anything. You can use a cotton swab. I like these little brushes. And you're just gonna hit, and you kind of, because it's Elmer's glue, you kind of want to work a little faster, but you're just gonna hit a few spots, and with the glue, and then you're going to give it a light dusting with cinnamon or nutmeg or whatever spice you choose. And then keep going. And you want to do this in small sections, like a blade at a time, because it you're not putting a lot on there, so it actually dries pretty quickly. But you want to get the ends and the sides and that hole around where your wire goes in. You want to hit that really good too. I like to do this on these rubber mats, or the plastic mat cutting boards that you can get from Dollar Tree, because then none of this goes to waste. I just will put it back in the little container, because this is used for craft projects only. So once it's been on there for a few minutes, not even that long, because it sticks pretty good, you're just going to knock off the excess. And if you want to go back and hit any other areas, I didn't get that corner real good, and I didn't get this real good, you can. And just give it a little bit more of your spice. and knock it off. You're going to do that to the whole thing. Your milk cap, your metal, your shish kebab sticks, the whole thing. And then once you get it to where you like it, it's got enough rust. And if you have too much in an area, you can just brush it off. That's what's so great about this. And then I'm going to take it outside and I'm going to give it a coat of clear enamel spray paint. Let that cure and you'll be all done. And I will come back and show you what my finished product looks like. Alrighty, here it is, all seasoned, and then I sprayed it with a clear gloss, I think. But I just do a light enough coat so that it keeps any of the spices from falling off, not necessarily to give it a shine. And it's all said and done. So I'm going to show you and you can do whatever you want with this. You can just post it on a board, a barn board, and I had you get a popsicle stick earlier. And all you're going to do would be to cut this in 4s, glue them together, and then you would attach it here so that whatever you mount it on, this hovers above the board a little bit. And see, I let it sit in the sun for too long and one came loose. So that's easy enough to fix. I'm just going to put a little dollop there and glue it right back on. Alright, and we're going to take a look at the final project that I did. I'm going to take you out here. Sorry if it's a little wobbly. I've got to have you guys plugged in, so give me 1 second. Okay, so this is my home sign that I finished. And the boards I got for, I think they're $1.95 a piece at Lowe's, and they're called bed slats. But they're super cheap and they're very knotty, which I love the knotty pine that I distressed. And then I just cut out the letters from cardboard and did distressing. And then everything is mounted on the wood with Jenga pieces, so that gives it that 3D effect. But once you made your windmill, you can mount it and do whatever you want with it. If you want to have it just sitting on a shelf where the back may be seen a little bit, then you probably want to go ahead and do the same treatment to the back of it. But other than that, I think you guys are all set. Let me know what you think. I'm sorry if I was out of frame a couple times. This is my very first time ever doing anything like this. Sorry if it's a little long. So just let me know, leave your comments, and let me know how I did. Thanks, ladies. Bye.